Hey, Washington Commanders fans, listen up. Today we've got 3 can't-miss stories for you. This week, our new offensive leader is going head-to-head with one of the most dangerous MVPs in the league. And you won't believe what he said about this matchup. The pressure is on. Can our young QB rise to the challenge? But that's not all. From across the globe, a sports star just sent us a direct message after their latest victory. Yep, even all the way from Shanghai, people are taking notice of what this team is doing. Finally, folks, there's a culture shift happening in Washington. But watch out, because our players are warning about the dangers of getting too comfortable. There's a leader on the offensive line who's calling on his teammates to stay sharp and not slack off, not even a little. Will it be enough to keep the momentum going? This new mindset could be the key to achieving what many thought was impossible just months ago. Don't miss out. So, if you want to stay up to date with everything happening with our squad, make sure to hit that subscribe button and drop a like. We'll be covering every moment, every play, and every piece of news that keeps the Washington Commanders in the spotlight. And remember, hail to the Redskins. Let's get straight to the point. No messing around. Next week, it's Washington Commanders versus Baltimore Ravens, and let me tell you something. This game is smelling like a serious contender for Game of the Year. And of course, it's no surprise. On one side, we've got Lamar Jackson, a 2-time MVP who doesn't need an introduction, right? And if that's not enough, he's got Derrick Henry in the backfield with him. Yep, you heard that right. Derrick Henry, a future Hall of Famer. You know what that means, right? We're talking about one of the most lethal duos we've seen in years. But hold up, here comes the good part. On the other side, our Commanders. Jayden Daniels, a rookie no one really expected to see at this level. But here we are with Austin Ekeler, and Brian Robinson Jr. backing him up. What can we expect? I'm thinking a serious scoring shootout on that scoreboard. So let me ask you, are you ready to watch this clash of titans? And the most intriguing part of it all, the QB duel. Jackson versus Daniels. That's the headline right there. But here's the interesting part. Daniels doesn't hide his admiration for Jackson. In fact, after Washington's win over the Cleveland Browns, Daniels was asked about facing Lamar. And what did he say? Me and Lamar are cool, really cool. We've got a good relationship. Obviously, we have things in common, both Heisman winners. But most of all, we're there for each other. He's an incredible player, and I'm excited to compete against him next week. Now, let me tell you this. Daniels respects Jackson. Of course he does. But do you think that respect might impact the game? I don't think it's just about respect. It's about winning. And that respect, once the game kicks off, turns into pure competition. That's where things get interesting. Look, I love seeing a young, fresh QB like Daniels face off against a proven talent like Lamar Jackson. But now I've got to ask, how do you think Daniels will handle the pressure? Because let me be clear, going up against someone like Jackson is no small task. Will he stay calm? Can he keep his game at a high level against one of the best QBs in the league? Now, speaking of strategies, what about the Ravens' defense? It's solid, no doubt about it. And they won't make it easy on Daniels. But let me tell you this. If Washington's offense keeps rolling like they did against the Browns, they're going to put points on the board, and a lot of them. Because it's not just about talent, it's about rhythm. And when this offense gets into rhythm, it's unstoppable. Ekeler and Robinson Jr. have everything we need to wear that defense down. But let me ask you, the fans watching this, do you think Jayden Daniels is ready for this challenge? Or will Lamar Jackson dominate the game? At the end of the day, this game is a true test for the Commanders, but it's also a golden opportunity to show the league that this team is capable of big things. And I'll say this, if Daniels stays calm, if that offense keeps clicking, and if Washington's defense finds a way to at least slow down Jackson and Henry, we might be talking about a historic win. Ladies and gentlemen, check this out. Frances Tiafoe, yes, the tennis star from Maryland, just gave a battle cry for our Washington Commanders after his win at the Rolex Shanghai Masters. What does this mean? A tennis player hyping up a football team? Let me tell you something. Our season is kicked off in a big way. We're 4-1 and people are noticing, even from the other side of the world. Now, why is Frances Tiafoe, a guy who lives and breathes tennis, so hyped about the Commanders? I'll tell you, it's because this team is showing something far beyond what was expected. The Commanders aren't just winning, they're dominating. And don't get it twisted, this isn't the same old team. Oh no, this squad is being led by Jaden Daniels, and if you haven't heard that name yet, trust me, you're going to hear it a lot. Daniels is breaking records in his rookie year. I'm not just saying he's playing well. No. I'm saying he's making history. When was the last time we saw a rookie quarterback take control of a team the way Daniels is doing? Think about it. This guy is throwing dimes, making smart decisions under pressure, and most importantly, he's winning games. Don't just take my word for it. The numbers back it up. Now, Tiafo in China, far from home, signs the camera, and what's the first thing he writes? 4-1. He wasn't thinking about his win. Oh no. He was thinking about what's going down right here in Washington. I'm telling you, there's something special about this team, and people are feeling it. Even athletes from other sports are tuning in to what's happening with the Commanders. But now, I gotta ask you, are we ready for what's coming? Because this week, folks, it's no ordinary week. We're facing the Ravens in Baltimore. And that's no joke. It's going to be a tough test for Daniels and the rest of the squad. This is where we'll see what these Commanders are really made of. This is where we find out if this 4-1 start is just smoke and mirrors, or if we're looking at a team that can hang with the big dogs. So, here's what I'm saying. Baltimore's defense isn't easy to beat. It's no joke. But if Jaden Daniels can keep playing at this level, if he keeps making smart decisions under pressure, and if the offensive line keeps protecting him like they have been, who's to say we can't walk out of Baltimore with a win? Let's see. How many of you are pumped about this new vibe around the Washington Commanders? Oh, you bet. 4 wins in a row. We haven't seen that in years, but hold up, we can't get too comfy. And here's where Sam Cosmi comes in, the guy who's saying what many don't want to hear. What's Sam telling us? Don't sleep on it. So I ask you, do you think this streak is enough? I'm telling you it's not. 4 wins are great, but in the NFL, everything can change overnight. Look, I'm telling you this. The culture shift in the Commanders is real. You can feel it on the field, you can feel it in the locker room, you can feel it in the city. And even though we've won these games, there's a much bigger challenge ahead. The Ravens. Yes, sir? That's the real test. The true fire drill. So I ask you, are you ready to see if this team is for real? Because I believe this game against Baltimore is going to define if we're here for big things or not. But let's get back to Sam Cosmi. This guy has gone from struggling on the offensive line to being a key part of this new team identity. He says it himself, and I quote, "I've never experienced a culture like this in the pros." Can you imagine that? A player who's been through the darkest times with this team is now seeing the light, but doesn't want anyone resting on their laurels. I'm telling you, that attitude is what we need. Not just in the locker room, but also in the stands, in the city, among the fans. Because the truth is, a team's culture isn't just built by the players. We all build it together. Now I know some of you might be thinking, oh, we're good, we won 4 in a row, no worries. But I'm telling you, not so fast. Yes, we've won. But as Cosmi said, I want to see how we handle adversity when it comes. And believe me guys, adversity is coming. And when it does, how are we going to react? Are we going to crumble or keep pushing? That's where we'll see if this culture change is legit or just smoke and mirrors. I'm telling you, if we keep this work ethic, this humility, this mindset of not thinking we're more than we are, we can go really far. And let's talk about Ron Rivera for a minute. A lot of folks criticize him, but even he says he laid the groundwork for something better. So what did Dan Quinn do? He came in, took that foundation, and in just a few months, boom, woke the sleeping giant. So I ask you, how many of you thought we'd be doing this well at this point in the season? I bet very few. But here we are, and now it's our time to show that we're a team to be taken seriously. And speaking of being taken seriously, Sam Cosmi isn't slowing down. He just got paid. And believe me, this guy is hungry for success. He's been grinding with this team for years, watching others take the wins while we've been stuck at the bottom. But now, with this new culture, he wants more. And I ask you, do you think this team has what it takes to keep winning? Because I do. I believe that with the right mindset and the leadership of guys like Cosmi, this team can achieve great things. Now it's your turn, fans. Do you think Jaden Daniels has what it takes to take down Lamar Jackson on his own turf? Or will Jackson's experience be the deciding factor? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget, this team needs our support more than ever. Finally, It's time to celebrate these wins, but let's keep our feet on the ground. Do you think the new culture of the Commanders is what we need to stay on the path to long-term success? Leave your answers in the comments. I want to read your opinions. Join this incredible fan community because we're more than just a channel. We're a family of true Commanders fans. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any updates. And remember, hail to the Redskins!